my name is Zaak Kerstetter. I'm an Ableton certified trainer with KMG Academy in Boulder, Colorado. And today I'd like to talk to you about one of my favorite techniques for dealing with creative roadblocks in Ableton Live, which is using controlled randomness to generate content. Now for me, this happens a lot when I'm writing percussion. I'm trying to write a cool percussive loop and it's not really working for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly generate some percussion, and hopefully that's going to fit in with my song and allow me to move on to the next part of writing my song and have some cool, interesting, weird, glitchy style percussion. So to start this off, let's take a look at what we're going to be using. We're going to have a drum rack here, and I just have a bunch of different metallic percussive sounds loaded up. Like that. So we're going to take these percussive sounds and we're going to use these to generate a loop. So we're going to start off by grabbing a random device in the MIDI effects section of your live browser, and we're going to toss it before our drum rack. So the random device is going to take an incoming MIDI note and it's going to output a different MIDI note. So right now our chance is set to 0%. So when I play a MIDI note, it doesn't do anything. But if I take my chance and turn it up to say 50%, and I play that same MIDI note, this C1 MIDI note, that means it has a 50% chance of playing the note I'm playing and a 50% chance of playing a different MIDI note. So each time I hit that, it's going to randomly select between those notes. So if I turn this up to say 90-ish%, if I play that same MIDI note, it's going to again randomly trigger a different MIDI note. The range of those MIDI notes is determined by the choices control right here. So right now it's either going to play the note I'm playing or a MIDI note up to 12 semitones above the MIDI note that I'm playing. So if I, for example, set my choices to be 16, you'll notice there's a few empty slots here within my drum rack. That means that occasionally it'll pick one of those empty slots. Like that, which is what I want because I want to add some extra bit of randomness, so occasionally when I hit a MIDI note, it's not going to play anything, mostly for rhythmic ideas. So from here, we can change a few other things. Right now, it's only going to pick MIDI notes above the MIDI note that I'm playing, which is what I want, but I can also set this to choose MIDI notes below the note I'm playing or in either direction based off of your choices. So let's keep this set to add. And what we're going to do is we're going to load up a MIDI clip and we're going to add a one note, one bar MIDI note. That's it. So now each time this loops, it's going to randomly play a different note. However, I don't necessarily want to have this happen every bar. I want this to happen at a regular interval, say on 8th notes or 16th notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the arpeggiator, also within our MIDI effects, and I'm going to toss it before the random device. So now the arpeggiator is going to take a single incoming MIDI note and it's going to repeat that MIDI note, in this case on 8 notes. So now every 8th note, it's going to randomly play one of my percussive sounds. Which is kind of cool. However, I want this to have a little bit more speed to it, so I'm going to turn this up to 16 notes. Which is kind of cool. However, when we're dealing with randomness, some of the times it's going to not sound that good. And most of the time it's going to sound okay. And occasionally it's going to sound amazing. You're going to get this really awesome, interesting mixture of these sounds put together, and they're going to work out really well. So I want to be able to capture that and be able to recycle that and use that over and over and create something that's not random every single time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the audio coming out of my drum rack and we're going to send it into this extra audio track I have over here. So I can basically resample this, re-record it, and I can let this loop for however long I want. And then I can pick out the best bits and then loop those to use them in the context of my song. So let's go ahead and try this out. So I'm going to record enable my resampling track. I'm going to hit record. This is just going to repeat this one single MIDI note, and it's going to be outputting all these different combinations of my percussive sounds. And you'll notice that sometimes it sounds really good, sometimes it doesn't. But it doesn't really matter because we can just pick the best bits of it and just use those. So I kind of like bar 6 there. I kind of like bar 9 as well. So we can just go ahead and stop these guys. But I could let this loop for 4 or 5 minutes and eventually you're going to get some really cool, crazy combination of sounds you never would have thought of. So let's go in here. Let's try bar 9 and bar 10. We'll go ahead and loop those. So I'm gonna hit play. And again, it sounds okay. It sounds a little crazy and chaotic. However, if I layer this together with a drum beat, so here I've got a super basic kick and snare drum pattern. If we layer these together, the drum beat's gonna add enough consistency to it that it'll hopefully sound good. So that works pretty well. We could, if I don't like this, I could move and say grab bar 5 and 6. Let's try halfway through bar 5 to halfway through bar 7 and see what this sounds like. So I can loop it almost anywhere I want, and it's gonna, because everything is quantized, it's gonna sound good. And hopefully using this randomness and using some of these space by using these empty slots within our drum rack, you can get some cool, interesting rhythms that you never would have thought of if you were sitting there trying to play it out. So this is a tool I use quite a bit whenever I'm feeling stuck. It works especially well with percussion. However, you can use it with any kind of material that you want to create really interesting combinations of sounds that fit together nicely, and it's great for really glitchy material. You can use this on vocals, vocal chops and vocal samples, use it on percussion, anything you want, and it's a great way just to get yourself out of your comfort zone, try different things, create different kinds of material, and let the computer do a lot of the hard work when it comes to generating material, and then you get to just pick and choose which bits you like to use the best. A lot of sound designers will use these techniques to create interesting combinations of sounds they never would have thought of otherwise. So hopefully you enjoy that. Keep an eye out for more videos from myself and KMG Academy, and I hope to see you soon.